Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and today we are in the Tier 7 Scharnhorst. I know, I'm back in the Scharnhorst. Even though I said that I hated this ship, I still kind of hate this ship, but for once I actually have a really fantastic game, and maybe I should give the Scharnhorst another try. We'll see. Anyways, we are currently on Two Brothers. We are joined with Little Kidda and his clanmate, Tiny. We have a Scharnhorst, Nagato, two Bierns, Konig, Fiji, Miyoko, two Clevelands, Omaha, Mas, and a Mutsuki. On the enemy team, there is two Gneisenau's, a Warspite, Biern, New York, Atlanta, Miyoko, Nuremberg, Omaha, Kirov, Mas, and a Ognavoy. Now, while this is actually starting, let me actually increase that map so we can actually see it. One little kind of side personal note that has happened to me today, which is Saturday. I found out from my mother that a good friend and mentor of mine did pass away last Thursday. It really is depressing to know that someone that I was close to has finally succumbed to cancer. But fortunately, he did pass away in his sleep, so at least it was peacefully. So I guess there is that. But yeah, it was very depressing to hear that, and it happened while I was at work. And after you hear that and you learn about that, it really don't want to deal with anyone, so do apologize, but yeah, that's what's currently happening in my life. So one little kind of funny note, I guess, as we're trying to get off this, let's get back to being lighthearted. This Omaha, apparently he has pirated his sister's account. Actually, he was allowed permission to play, and he has no idea how to play. He is in a Omaha that is pushing quite heavily into A. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. He was even asking, how does detection work? Now there is a Miyoko that does pop up. I open up a salvo, but the Miyoko is actually going a little bit slower than I was anticipating, which is unfortunate. And can you guess how long this Omaha is going to last under the bombardment of 3 cruisers? If you say not very long, yeah, it's not very long. Open up another salvo against the Miyoko. Land us 2 citadels. Okay, yes, we got nice 2 citadels. And yeah, this Omaha is going down to the Atlanta, which is unfortunate. Now, the Atlanta is being a very smart Atlanta player. He is currently using the cover of the island for his benefit. Kirov is showing us a nice little broadside and passing this Cleveland. And if you notice, well, we just got 2 citadels on that Kirov, which is actually really nice. The Cleveland is currently AFK. Keep an eye on that Cleveland. Keep a mental note about that Cleveland. We'll see him again. We'll see him again. So open up another salvo against the Miyoko. Very low on health, and we get our very first kill of the game. Very nice. Very, very nice. And oh yeah, one nice little mention. I got my chair back. I'm very happy. Very happy. I love my chair. So the Atlanta is being a downright pain in the butt right now. He is constantly firing HE at us. Can't really get a good salvo on that Atlanta. So I do switch my attention to the New York, and we get one lousy over penetration. Ugh. So the Atlanta is a nasty little cruiser, but essentially when it comes down to it, it's a very large destroyer with a citadel, which means my big battleship guns can do significant amount of damage. Now, the New York is currently firing HE at us. Lands a okay hit. Coming around the corner on this Atlanta. And 2 citadels, knock off the majority of his health, drop my torpedoes. But I really want this Atlanta dead. I do have to keep in mind he does have torpedoes, so I'm actually going to start turning away. And essentially, he's going to die no matter what. So I do switch my attention over to the New York. Open up a salvo against them. And net us about 10,000. Our torpedoes are looking pretty good, actually. Should be able to take him out. There we go. Now, the Atlanta, like I said, does have torpedoes, which means he, of course he has fired them. But I think we might be able to get away with it. Can we swing our ass around? Yes, we can. Very nice. Now, fortunately for me, this New York has it in his mind that high explosive is going to be the best option. And even though I was showing him a nice, beautiful broadside, all he does is set us alight. Now, granted, this fire is going to burn for the full duration. Oh my word, my mouth is not working with me today. At least my tongue's not. Now, the New York does go down to the friendly Fiji. And the Omaha shows up. And this is very silly. You have a battleship 9.5 kilometers away. Open up a salvo, and I guess he realized his mistake. He starts turning away. His engine goes down, and 2 citadels, and another kill for us. So that is the third kill of the game. Now, at the time of this battle, we did a really great job. Now, the enemy team, at least the majority of their battleships, besides obviously the New York, had pushed into D, and at least 2 of our battleships and 1 cruiser are currently trying to deal with that fleet, and they're doing a fantastic job. They have a Gneisenau now that's on very low health, and another one that has taken maybe about half health, something like that. But remember that Cleveland? That Cleveland is still AFK and has been for probably the majority of that battle, and is going to go down to the enemy Gneisenau and Nuremberg. Now, I have switched my attention back north because obviously you want to confront the enemy, and I'm feeling kind of ballsy, I guess you could say. I'm feeling a little aggressive, feeling a little lucky. Now, I do know there's at least a Ognavoy. Obviously, there's a Nuremberg and a Gneisenau. Now, if we can get up there quickly, we should be able to take out the Gneisenau fairly quickly, and that's what I'm hoping for. Now, the Nuremberg, I'm not overly concerned, but I do have to be careful that he does have torpedoes, and 1 good salvo from that Nuremberg will be able to take us out. And unfortunately, we have just lost everyone on the east-hand side. So everyone that is still left alive is going to be our entire team that went to A, and the enemy team has held B and C and D for some time now. Now, I do have little Kidda sitting in the back with his Nagato, and he just recently got Nagato. Hopefully he's liking it. I honestly don't remember. It's been some time since I've had the Nagato. It apparently has been buffed. Like I said, it's been a little while. Now, unfortunately, we no longer have sights of the Gneisenau, but we are being detected by probably a pesky little destroyer or a Nuremberg. But there is also the pesky little destroyer. Now, the Gneisenau has a little bit bigger guns than we do, and as you can see, I am aiming slightly up above, aiming toward his superstructures, because bow on the guns on the Scharnhorst are just not capable of penetrating into the Gneisenau. And I go ahead and switch my attention away. Now, fortunately for me, this Gneisenau does not shoot at us. Probably because he thinks this Ognavoy is actually going to be able to take us out. But fortunately for me, the Ognavoy does miss his torp run, which is actually really good. Now we are being currently hydroacoustic by the enemy Nuremberg. At first I thought it was the Ognavoy, but it's not. It's the Nuremberg. And this Nuremberg is being a pesky little cruiser. Open up a salvo against him. Only do about 8,000, which is, I guess, pretty good considering it's a tier 6 cruiser. We do earn Confederate, and as you can see, we are very low in health, but we finally got in the 2-kilometer range of the Ognavoy. Let's take him out. Unfortunately, over penetration all the way, but our secondaries do take him out very quickly. So, very low and healthy. Nuremberg only has one turret in the front. He is currently firing armor piercing, and we are so far in front of him that no way his back guns can actually open fire at us. Now I am going to go ahead and use this smoke from the friendly enemy Nuremberg, and little Kidda does take out the enemy Nuremberg. Now while we were facing off against the enemy Ognavoy, little Kidda does take out the low health Gneisenau. Like I said, that Gneisenau should have focused me down because I was, I believe, pretty low on health. Now little Kidda has taken substantial amount of damage, but he's still kicking. And here's the problem with my ship is the fact that I do not have any more heals, and there are 2 nearly full health battleships still around. There's the Warspite and the Bayern. I believe they are on the same. Are they on the same division? No, they are not. But they are nice and bulky, and fortunately for us, they don't really travel that quickly. Now, our friendly team is currently trying to move back up into A. Actually, I think they're going to try to hold that canal. Don't exactly know why. But there is also a enemy Moss. This enemy Moss is providing some torpedo fire. It looks like the friendly Bayern does take a few torpedoes, which is highly unfortunate. But since almost the entire enemy team is all the way down south, we are able to actually push into B and start capping. Now, I don't really know why this destroyer, but this destroyer right in front of us, let's quickly take control of the camera, he was in B, and then he just ran out of B and is going to D. I'm going to go ahead and cap it, try to get the objectives, ensure that we keep our victory. We do lose our friendly Bayern to the enemy Bayern. Our division mate in his Miyoko is trying his best, dropping off torpedoes towards the enemy battleships. But I don't know if he's not in a particularly good situation. And he does lose a huge chunk of health there. And, oh, can he get out? He really needs to remove himself from this battle. There's no way he can take on a Warspite and Bayern. There is a friendly Fiji that is trying to help. I think the Fiji's in smoke. Looks like torpedoes are incoming towards the Miyoko. And it looks like he is, I think, burning. Or he could be flooding. Hopefully he can actually get out of there very quickly. Now, the enemy battleships have pushed into C and are currently capturing it. But I am going to go ahead and try to capture D, like I said, and try to keep our lead. But we do lose our division mate to the enemy Bayern. Now, the Warspite is extremely low on health, and we desperately need to take him out to ensure that we continue our lead. Now, the enemy team, like I said, is currently capping C. Now, C obviously is not providing points to anyone until a full capture does occur. So the only way the points are coming in for the enemy team is D, and as soon as I get on D, that will prevent them from gaining any more points. And the Scharnhorst is a fairly decent ship. Now, Little Kidda does finish off that Warspite, which is very beneficial because that ensures that Warspite cannot heal and come back to haunt us. Now, all that's left on the enemy team is the Moss and the Bayern. Let's see how this turns out. Now we are currently full capping D, and once again, this Mutsuki could have taken D, and that would have ensured that we had a little bit more points, but oh well, I will take the capture. I will take the credits and experience, even though I don't really need the experience. Now, obviously, the enemy team knows that there is a enemy destroyer on their side, since someone did lay down a smoke, so the Moss does venture out from his hidey hole and is taking a significant amount of damage. Now he is hoping to take out the enemy Mutsuki. I open up a salvo against the Moss, and unfortunately I do miss. Now, one thing I probably should mention, my Sharn does have adrenaline rush on it, so it gets a 0.1% increase to reload rate by every 1% health lost. Now the Moss does go down to the friendly Fiji, and the Bjorn is my sole target. I do open up a salvo of torpedoes. Now obviously the Bjorn probably knows what's coming, and I do earn high caliber. We earn a huge amount of damage right there, but I think my torpedoes are probably going to miss. I'm trying to swing around, drop off my other torpedoes, and open a salvo, do about 5,000, and trying to keep myself angled. And probably one thing to keep in mind at this time and being is the fact that my back gun, watch where my back gun is. We're gonna slow this up just a bit. The points are very close. Even if I go down, our friendly ships should be able to take him. He's very low on health. He is about 3,000 points of health left. We are both reloading. My guns will reload very quickly. Only 10 seconds left. Looks like Little Kidda is trying to assist, and our guns are swinging around. Very low on health. The Bjorn opens fire. I go down. My last salvo goes out, and we take out the enemy Bjorn as well. So our team earned a victory. All enemy warships were destroyed. We brought home 772,884 silver, 8,954 XP, and 448 free XP. We earned a close quarter combat, Kraken Unleashed, Devastating Strike, High Caliber, and Confederate. We did 160,286 points of damage, 74 shell hits, 1 torpedo hit, 1 plane shot down, 2 incapacitation, 5 kills, 3 fires, 1 flood, 8 citadels, 2 captured base, and 1 assisted base capture with 63 secondary hits. We earned top of the team with 2,911. Now, what was rather amusing was that very last moment, both me in my Scharnhorst and the enemy Bjorn, when we killed each other, we were both kill number 5 for each other, so we both earned Kraken Unleashed for killing each other. So I found it rather hilarious seeing that. I caught it after the recording stopped, so really cool. We did 36,408 points of damage against the enemy Bjorn, around 21,000 against the Atlanta, around 18,000 against Miyoko, and around 17,000 against the Omaha, and did around 7,000 against the Ognavoy. So very, I guess, satisfying game with the Scharnhorst, to say the very least. And as you can see, we brought home a fairly significant amount of change, I will have to say. So has it changed my mind on the Scharnhorst? Yeah, I don't hate it as much as I did before. I still don't like it, but it's not a terrible ship. That's as close as you're gonna get it from me. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zai Jen.